Hey there, Lono Gamer Alex here. Welcome to my game room. If you're watching on YouTube, please note that this is a personal recording of my gaming activities. It contains footage of me looking to be entertained, not trying to entertain those who are looking in. These uploads are for my personal pleasure, yet if they serve any purpose to you, then I'm all for it. AFKs are edited out of the recording. Thank you for watching. There we go. I could have sworn that I already have that all set up. Okay, so I'm ready to attempt to play this game. So it took us about 2 hours, like last session, just to read through the manual and getting quite perplexed about how... I think the problem with this manual is I think it fails to... one, to set it up for us. I mean, you know what the game is about. It's about research or whatever, ocean research, whatever, environment, helping the environment, whatever, that's fine. But then, it goes into the mechanics of what you're supposed to do, like how the game is played, but it doesn't give you the reason why you're doing those things. And then the whole thing about explaining the solo modes at the end of the manual, I guess I should have just skipped to the end, but I've done that before. I think there was another board game where I skipped like the middle part because they did the same thing where they explained the solo mode like closer to the end of the manual. I started reading that portion and I got very confused because like it would describe things about the game mechanics that I just couldn't understand. So that's why this time around, I decided to just go through the manual, understand the game, and then look at the solo mode situation. So yeah, they should have actually talked about the solo mode at the beginning after the setup, and at the beginning section of the gameplay, they should have explained why you're doing these things. This is how you win, because they don't explain about how you win, and they didn't really explain about how, I guess because they're talking about the basics of the game is pretty much PvP, scoring at the end, who gets the best score at the end of the 6th turn. But they're not, like, they didn't even say that here, they just kind of set it up for you. And then they explain how to move around the board, how to take actions, but they don't really explain to you why you're taking those actions. And then the whole portion about solo that made me so confused because I was reading it at the end of the session last night, or the manual, because I was like, okay, so how is this? It seems drastically different than just playing the game usual, but it's basically the same thing. It's and then I watch a video of someone, forgot which one it was, on YouTube. Just skip to the end and see how the game ended, and it's basically just like the manual, as specified by the manual here. It's about selecting the difficulty. You have goals. So when you play co-op or solo, you have goals, and then to satisfy those goals, you tally up your score. So that's how everything ties in with the scoring mechanics. So and if you're playing as a beginner, at the end of the game there should be a total of 7 goals. So and then the additional 3 goals are revealed during the first 3 turns of the game. So you have these 3 goals here, and then this goal here, the research goal, for this section, and then the 3 additional goals that we're going to add to the game as we play it. So so if you're playing as a beginner, then you need to achieve at least 4 for you to consider to win the game. So there is a win-lose at the end of the game. As the scoring, your total score doesn't matter. It's about scoring to make sure that you reach those goals. So, which is, I think it's interesting because like the bonus goals, they can change every time you play the game. There's not a lot though. I think there are like a total of 6 of them. So, and then we can check now. Like there are not a lot of. It would have been great if there are more of them. You know what I'm saying? The setbacks and the bonus goals. But you have all these missions. So you have like 10 missions. So there's a lot of gameplay. And then you can increase the difficulty and see if you're able to beat those different difficulties, like getting all 7 goals. That's the legendary difficulty. Is that even possible? Okay, so setbacks, there are a total of 5 setbacks and a total of 6 bonus goals. And then 3 of the bonus goals are used, and 3 of the setbacks are used per game. So you don't know which ones you're going to get, but it adds some kind of unpredictability. And then depending on the mission that you're playing, you know, I mean, there's a good amount of variations, I guess. But yeah, let's see if I can play this game proper. That's my first time playing it. I understand basically how to play it, but we'll see if we get this right. So we're playing mission 1, the Call of the Ocean. It says, since it's your first day in charge of a team, we'll keep the mission simple and let you get your sea legs. Pretty much anything you do in the ocean will have value today. That's cute. Okay, the mission has 5 columns. Okay, so remember, all of the maps will always have 5 devs, but then the column arrangement changes depending on the mission that you use, that you're playing. We might have to move this down because, yeah, we should probably move that down in case I'm gonna go deeper into the ocean. So I'll put my player board here down here, and then yeah, like the way that they have it in the manual, it's not even, see, like I said, this manual is not properly written, nor is it properly organized. They need a lot of help with this manual. And yeah, they need to warn people about the space that you're gonna need to play this game. I mean, the way that they have it in the manual, you can see that they don't even, you know, as if like this is the only, well, even though they have like the little cutout there, and this is how you're supposed to arrange it, but anyway, let's just keep going. I'll move this over here, put my captain over here. So everything's pretty much set up from yesterday. So, and we're gonna play as a beginner. So all I need to do is make sure I get 4 goals taken care of out of 7. So the goals are, 1 is here for the what is this called? The thingamajig. Impact board. So there's an impact board goal specifically on the impact. What do you even call these? Like impact and impact achievements? What are they called? Gain an impact, and then you get bonuses for gaining impacts. We'll just call it the impact board, but and then it says right here, for 1 player, you need to achieve this goal. You need 20 points from this section to achieve that 20 goals. And then here you can ignore these because we're not playing multiplayer, and we also have to ignore the leader bonuses, I believe. Leader bonuses and goals are not part of co-op play. Ignore them. So you just need to check here. I need 8 points on sonar, so I need to have sonar disc. I need to have at least 8 sonar discs on the map for me to be able to achieve this one. to achieve that one. And then with the second goal here, journal. So I need to have at least 5 journals for me to achieve that particular goal. And then conserve. I need to conserve 6 plus. I need to have 6 plus conservation disk to achieve that goal. It's seemingly like a lot, but we only have 7 rounds to accomplish these things. And as long as you have resources, you can you can do this. And let's see if it makes sense. Let's just play the game. So there are 2 phases per turn. And first thing you do for the preparation phase is recruit 1 specialist. And I'm going to do what I did last night. I'm going to recruit the sonar operator. It's right here. The artwork is kind of dark, so we'll have a sonar operator here. And then when you get the sonar operator, you see the icon there, this yellow icon. That means that you progress, what's the name of that? We're going to use the proper terminology here. Coordination. So you move your coordination up by 1. And then you also get on your turn, choose a specialist on the tray and add it to your own tableau. Your reputation track determines the highest tier from which you can recruit. And of course, we can only recruit tier 1 specialists. And then gain new disc from your supply to the staging area of your player mat. And this is determined by your inspiration track. So so we have +1. So we have 2 now. The first one we got from the starting area here. At the beginning of the game, there's a starting bonus. It says +1 here next where your submarines at, where you place the submarines. There's like a +1 icon there. That means that you gain 1. What are these called? Disc. They're called disc. Okay. Okay, so phase 1 is recruitment. So we recruited that guy. Well, gal, actually. And then effort, so you get the disc. And then reassignment. And this is where I think there was an error in the manual. I still didn't look, but I should have last night. But I was tired. After I recorded that session last night, I went to bed, lay down with Suki, and just fell asleep until I had to set up the machine for this morning's treatment. All right, let's see. Yeah. Reassign your specialist by reclaiming disc from your specialist to your staging area. This frees up both the disc and the specialist for future use. Oh, I see. If you use up the specialist, then they're used up, and then you take them off that assignment. But they don't immediately get 1, right? You have to activate them. Yeah, because that would be phase 2, activation. And it's just the confusion with this manual that's saying that you can do that in the first round, but you can't. It says in the first round, you will have a single disc on your team leader. That's correct. And the capability to reassign 1 specialist. And that is the point that I'm so confused about from last night. So you will be able to reclaim that disc back to your staging area. What do they mean by a single disc on your... When we recruit the specialist, do we place 1 on the specialist? that can't be right. Let me see here. Let me reread the portion about recruitment. On your turn, choose one specialist from the tray and add it to your own tableau. We'll do it one step at a time. Your reputation track determines the highest tier from which you can recruit. Your recruitment level on the lower row of the rack is displayed in plus icon symbols. Each junior specialist displays a number symbol in the top corner of its tier. To recruit a particular specialist, your recruitment level must match or exceed the tier. Okay, that's all proper. Your recruited specialist always enters play on its junior side, which is, yeah, okay, because you can flip this actually, and becomes brown there from the green, and then becomes the second tier. Becomes a senior expert, whatever. If your specialist displays an immediate gain, resolve them before proceeding to the next step. And you may recruit duplicates of specialists you already have. Okay, that's fine. Your new specialist displays an immediate gain, which is on the bottom left here. And the immediate gain, we already resolved that because we got +1 coordination. Any intelligence, inspiration, and coordination that you gain during this step does not affect the following 2 steps. That is still confusing to me. I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know how that impacts anything. This may factor into your recruitment decision, it says. I guess because if it goes up, then I think that it may impact your ability to reassign and get your disc back, I guess. It's like they saying stuff like that. It's strange. I mean, they would write something like that, but they don't explain themselves. What do you mean by it may factor into your recruitment decisions? Explain. Explain it. But they're not explaining it. It's like it's a mystery. You figure it out yourself, because I read through the whole manual. They never went back to talk about this. If you recruit a tier 5 specialist and this leaves its tray pocket empty, move the top tile from the different pocket to the empty pocket so there are 3 tier 5s are always available for selection. So we went through the whole recruitment section. There's no talk about activating it. So that's why I'm so confused as to why they say that in the first round you will have a single disc on your team leader. That's correct. And the capability to reassign one specialist. That's incorrect. Because there's nothing to reassign. Reassigning means you reclaim the disc from the specialist to your staging area. But we haven't activated any specialists, so that is why it's so confusing. Unless they forgot a step. You know what? Let's see if there's an updated manual online. Let's try and take care of this like right now, to see if there's even anything rewritten on this on the website. So let me go to the website and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the rule book here from the actual website. So I'm gonna see. It's still loading up to see if they made any changes. Yeah, there's something going on with PDF, with Adobe, because these PDF files, they now take forever to load up and everything. Okay, so it looks like the same manual, but let me see. We'll go to that page and see if they made any changes on this. Nope, they still claim that in the first round you will have a single disc on your team leader. That part is correct. And the capability to reassign one specialist, that is still fucked up. So you will be able to reclaim that disc. It's almost as if it's written by 2 people. Like the first person, it's almost like the editor of this manual read that and got confused and then like made the change and then didn't send it back to the actual people who actually play the game or know about the game better or actually understood the game properly versus whoever making the edit. Because it's like, I think this is supposed to read in the first round, you will have a single disc on your team leader, so you will be able to reclaim that disc back to your staging area. I think that's how it's what it's supposed to say. So, and then in the next round, you will have one on your specialist if you activated a specialist. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. This book is bad. The manual is bad. But let's just keep going and see what we can do. And then I guess I'll have to watch some more gameplay on YouTube, other people playing this game, and see if how they handle this. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So should we reclaim? What can the leader do? The leader can do a couple of things. And then, do we, like, if we have one here, does that mean that we cannot do anything? We only can do something if it's empty and then we place something on it. Is that how you activate? If not, nothing's activated. So there's also that confusion for me. Maybe because there are like games that are similar to this, since I'm new to board games. Maybe they expect people to have some kind of knowledge about games similar to this, and then they're just like, oh yeah, they've played those games, so they'll understand how this works. Maybe that's the mentality. I don't know, but it's just very confusing. And then in the even in and then the graphics are totally different than what they're talking about here in the example, because they say, example, your reassignment level is 1, so you'll be able to reclaim 1 disc. Since you have 2 specialists with disc on them, well, this is first round. We only have 1. We just recruited 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's very odd. Like the manual was written really badly. Like, it's written by multiple people, and they all have different understanding of the game, or they're trying to explain different parts of the game. It's just wow. It's all I can say. Just that. Wow. Okay. I guess your leader can do those things there. Your leader can do pretty much everything. So I guess I will. So whenever you use this, you're assigning them to do a task, I think. And then you have to take it back so that they can do a different task. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay, so I'm gonna take this because we already have one on the leader, so I'm gonna take it away from the leader. See, I mean, they should have, the example should reflect the first round, and they have to explain why you're doing that. You know, I mean, you anyway, I don't want the session to be just me explaining why this is very perplexing. We're just gonna continue. Okay, so it's all done. So I got the I reassign the disc from the team leader back to our play area here. So we have 3 now, so we can activate. And I guess what that means is we can activate 3 things. So we can activate the leader, we can activate the sonar operator, and then we can do a task on the map. And we need to focus. Oh, and then the bonus goal is revealed too at the beginning, right? Let me see. It's a good idea to keep the bonus. Okay, under the wave marker, the impact has a co-op goal that must describe how many, for example, 3 player. Okay. All 3 mission goals have a co-op banner at the bottom. where is that? At the start of each round of play, draw the top card from the stack. In round 1 and 3, this will reveal a bonus goal to strive for, and then the remaining 3 will be destructive setbacks. Okay, so we forgot to do that, but it's basically here. What we're gonna do is we'll put it. Yeah, we gotta move this a little bit over to the left, and then we'll put the goal here. So it looks like we got scholarly. So leftover research. So to win this one, to achieve this particular goal, we need to have 6 leftover research at the end of the game. So which is right here. This is hard. This game is hard. Yeah, you want to play legendary? That's almost, is that even possible? Well, I guess we'll see. And we only have 7 rounds. This game is fast and it's kind of hard, I think. Well, I guess we'll see. Okay, so we have to also keep that in mind now. So we want to make sure that we don't use up all of our research points if we want to be able to score this. And we are playing the beginner difficulty, so that means that only 4 out of the 7 goals I have to achieve to win the game. If not, I lose. And whenever you hear that like little chime, that means that I have to go downstairs and check on treatment downstairs. So, but yeah, on YouTube you don't see this. We'll just immediately skip the AFK. But that's what that sound is. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so yeah, just keep in mind about the research. Okay, now it's activation. Take turns, beginning with whoever has the wave, and proceed clockwise. On your turn, you must either take a turn or pass. Once you pass, you may take no further turns in this round. And the turn order continues clockwise, skipping you. Play proceeds in this manner with still active players continuing in turn order until all players have passed. Okay, taking turns. You usually, asterisk, take a turn by activating a specialist. To activate a specialist, place a disc from your staging area on a specialist in your tableau that has an empty activation circle. So for you to use a specialist, they have to have an empty activation circle. Okay, so you have to take that back at the beginning during phase 1. Then you may perform the specialist action. The disc you place in the specialist simply permits you to take its action. Some action types then require you to use additional disc from your staging area, not your supply, to actually carry out the action. Okay, so we can skip that portion. I know what I'm going to do here first turn like we did during the last session. Certain activities explained later can be done in place of activating a specialist. I think that's if you have a journal or something like that. There's something else that you can do to instead of activating a specialist. And I take it as long as you have resource, you can activate as many specialists as you want to. Because you're gonna have more than one, you know, as you continue the game. So see, they didn't really talk about that here. Like, see, I mean, they didn't talk about you can activate multiple specialists. You know, they just say usually activating a specialist, and that's it. They don't. it's like they're not explaining the game thoroughly, you know? It's because they're just saying here by activating a specialist, and then that's it. And then here are the rules for activating. And that's it. And here are the actions that you can take by activating those specialists. But they never address how many specialists you can move, like during your turn. But like I said, it doesn't make any sense that you're going to be recruiting more and then you can only activate one and then you have all these discs. Unless it's just like that one specialist doing multiple things. I don't think that's the case. You can activate the specialist and I think they can do one thing. Or multiple things, but they're listed actually on the specialist card. Either or, they can have an either or action, or they can have like multiple icons and they can take all of those actions. But they cannot take those actions multiple times because that doesn't make any sense if you think of it mechanically. But that's the thing. It's like, why do I have to think about that? Why is it not explained in this manual? And I think they're too dependent on people understanding maybe that this is how a lot of board games that are like similar to this one are, how they work, and then maybe they have the expectation that we would just understand. But somebody like me who just started playing board games, like, well, I started 4 years ago, but you know, I haven't been that deep into board gaming, you know, tabletop games, and mostly doing video games. Just lately that I've been really trying to get into my board game stuff. And this one is pretty new. I just got this one recently because it looked cool. I mean, it the game looks pretty cool. I like the idea of and like I said last night, I hate open water. I will never ever swim in my life. I will never jump into the oceans, but the idea is intriguing, like doing research deep in the ocean. That's just something about it. I just thought it was cool. But yeah, I mean, so far I haven't been so impressed with this manual, but the game seems okay. It's just I wish that if things are more clear with the manual, I think it would make the experience a little bit more enjoyable, you know, but this manual is not it. And then you may decline any reward. Why would you decline any reward? There's got to be some strategy when it comes to that. And you have to have a vessel, of course, in the zone. So we're here right now, right? The starting area, which is the sea star. So I'm going to activate the sonar operator. And then I'm going to... And when you activate it, you can use one sonar ability. And I'm going to use it here. And then it says 1 to 2. That means that I can choose def 1 to and def 2, two cards. I can choose both of them for surface zone, because we do still have two column areas that we can activate. But I'm gonna also select def 2 because I want to see what's underneath. And then you reveal both of them. So for the surface zone, I got remote anchorage. And then I guess this is when you want to look at your goals. One of the goals involves sonar. And this one has plenty, actually. So it would be a good tile to activate. And then the other one also has sonar, but only 2 sonar. And it has diving. The other one is Sunken Ruins. I mean, Sunken Ruins is cooler. Let me make sure that these are the maps. Okay, we have enough maps with sonar in there. So I can place this one back because I like going deeper, actually, in this game. Oh, and I need to place this here. So, and then that's that stays there, right? Yeah, that just stays there. So we're gonna place sunken ruins over here. You can only place it underneath another tile. So you can't place it like right here because this area is still not discovered. Okay, and then this one you place it at the bottom of the that particular group's stack there. Goes to the bottom of the stack. Okay, and then I have to so we get one research by discovering this area of the ocean. I get one research, or ingenuity, that's what it's called, ingenuity, and then one reputation. So it's a top left-hand corner here. You see one ingenuity, one reputation, and then it reminds you to place 4 dive tokens here. So let's go ahead and resolve that. So 1 and then 1. Okay. Once you hit one more ingenuity, you get a second sub. So now I can activate my captain and we can move to a different part of the map, or the captain can also dive. The team leader can also dive, looks like. So I should probably do that and see what's here, you know. So I hope I'm playing this right. And like I said, it's not specified. There was no example of them taking multiple actions, so I'm just gonna assume that that's how it's done because the manual is just okay. Let's just keep going. So let's check to see what's there. Is there a diving? No, there's a conservation one. But we don't have any place for conservation, right, that has conservation goals or activities. So, but we can do manual because he can also grab manuals. So what I should do is play the team leader, and let's see how grabbing the manuals work. I mean the journal. Let me see here. Journal requires a second disk. Spend research to publish a journal. Okay, so it requires research, so we can't do that because we don't have any research, and we have to be stingy with our research too. But because of the random bonus, because yeah, this is like in conflict, even though it's a bonus goal, it's in conflict of something like the journal because the journal requires you to claim it. To claim the journal, you have to spend research points. So, and then you need to have access research points to win scholarly here, leftover research on your board. So yeah, that's going to be in conflict. I mean, these two bonus goals. These two goals. So let's check dive and see well, maybe we should do that. So draw a top token from a dive site. Tokens have varied uses and an important source of valuable research. So yeah, maybe we should definitely do that. Choose a zone where you have a vessel that has a dive site with 1 or more dive tokens remaining. Draw the top token from the dive site and reveal it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my team leader, activate it using our disk. And we're going to dive, so we're going to grab this first one. And this area actually has 4. And 2, 3, 4. I need to make sure that I add that there too. So just some bunch of random dive tokens. I need 4 of them to place over here. Okay. So I'm going to grab the first one. Dive tokens display some amount of research which you'll need for conserve and journal actions. Most tokens also display an effect. During your turn, you may spend any number of dive tokens into a discard pile. When you spend a token, you either gain its research value, reflect the gain on your research track, or take advantage of its effect. Spending dive tokens is in addition to activating your specialist as normal. So what do they mean by that? Spending dive token is in addition to activating your specialist as normal. You may spend a dive token in place of activating a specialist. I'm confused. See, I mean, you dive while you have a vessel at the ledge elevator. You take the top token from the stack and reveal it. It displays 3 research and a travel action. You may use it for either aspect or store it on your mat for a later turn. In addition to activating your specialist as normal. Spending dive tokens. Yeah, that's really confusing. I don't understand what they mean by that. I thought you just get it. Once you get it, and then you can keep it or gain it later. You know, like right now I reveal it and it's showing that I can either have 3 research points or I can conserve by when I conserve I spend 1 less research point, but we don't have any research points right now, so we should definitely spend this. And to spend it, when you spend it, you get the 3 research points. But how do you spend it? They don't explain how you expend it. All they say is just, wow, you know, spending dive tokens is in addition to activating your specialist as normal. What do you mean by that? You know? What do you mean by that? Do you have to are you saying that you need to make sure there's somebody? I think what they mean by that is for you to be able to spend the token, you need to at least activate a specialist that has the ability to dive. That has to be it. Because like you can see the team leader at the bottom there, your team leader can pretty much do everything. And I choose to dive this turn. You know, I mean, that's the only way I can interpret it. I mean, I don't know what else they mean by that. I really don't. It's not properly explained in the manual. So I'm just going to say, okay, you know, I did my dive and this is what I got. I got 3 research points. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3. So now I have 3 research points. And this goes into a discard pile. I mean, you may spend tokens on the same turn you get them. Okay, I mean, that I can, okay. You may spend tokens before and after activating your specialist, or even between its action if it is a multiple action specialist. See, I mean, it's like, why is that even significant? They never explain themselves. They would say these weird things and they never explain themselves why that would be significant. At the end of your turn, you may store a maximum of 1 dive token. There's a spot on your player mat for it. You must spend access tokens before ending your turn. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm doing it right. Because the part that's confusing is definitely the whole sentence that it probably doesn't have to be there. Spending dive tokens is in addition to activating your specialist as normal. Maybe what they were trying to write there is spending dive tokens requires that you have a specialist that can dive or something like that, activating a specialist that can dive. I mean, that makes sense to me unless once you, but they're also saying that once you have it, you can just activate it whenever, however, whenever. It's, I mean, I know I've already said it like thousands of times, but this manual is just bad. Okay. So we're done. So those are, we maxed out everything that we could have done. So the first round is over. And you can track the rounds for the solo play is by looking at the additional bonus goals and the the threats or the setbacks. So once you have 3 bonus goals and 3 setbacks on the table, that means that you only have 1 round left. And see, we barely did anything. So crazy. This is a crazy game. You know, only 7 rounds. Well, we're gonna have more people actually in our crew here. Okay, so now we go back to phase 1, the phase 1, which is preparation. So recruit 1 specialist. So now we have to choose. Oh, and then we reveal another bonus goal for round 2. And the bonus goal here is synergistic. So it says the zones with at least 1. What? Zones with at least 1. Oh, okay. So they want you to have. What? This is crazy. They want to make sure that there's a 1 token, 1 disc played 11. So that means because I'm looking at the far left here, so it says 11 plus. That means that you need to have 11 plus zones with at least 1 disc or 1 submarine. We're not going to be able to do that. There's no way. Well, there's 5 now. I guess we just have to like whore around and just drop our tokens everywhere. I mean, our disc everywhere. We're just whoring around the ocean. So that's the only way I can for you to be able to get that. I mean, that's just nuts. Okay, anyway. And then gain disc from your supply to your staging area. Gain new disc from your supply to your staging area. Your inspiration determines number of discs you gain. So right now I still only gain inspiration, right? Just 1. So you need to make sure that you level up that inspiration, looks like, to be able to do more. So I gain 1 more this turn. And then reassignment, so I'm going to grab all of these back. So reassignment is pretty much just resetting the board. They should just say reset the board because you don't want them to stay on your... You don't want them to stay here at all. So you have to take them back because then you have to reactivate them. You can't... If you leave them here... see, I mean, this should be a default event. Take all the discs back and put it in the staging area. That's what they should have said in the manual is... The reassignment is take all the discs back from your recruits and your leader. It should be just that. They don't have to make it complicated. Just say that. All right, so that's all done. Now now it's the activation phase again. Now we can choose to travel to different parts of this board, or we can just stay there. Oh, I need to also choose. And I already skipped some turns. I should have selected somebody first, you know, but yeah, this is my first time playing, so please forgive me for that. I think we need a diver. We have a sonar person. I think we need a diver, and then the captain can move the submarine around. So I'm gonna recruit a reef diver. Yeah, the cards, these little, what would you call these? Like cardboard cards. They're just like too dim. The graphics are too dim on them. I mean, they look better actually on video than... Yeah, you can see a person diving there. So we have a diver now, and we also have a sonar operator. Okay. And we have 3 activation discs. All right. Okay, so that's all done. So now we, I mean, the game seems to be like really easy to play, but they're just questions. And you just have to do this like 7 times. But it gets more complex because now you have more to do, you know. So what do? I think we're definitely gonna dive so we get more research. So I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna activate my Reef Diver. Oh, and then I forgot. There is immediate activation, therefore recruiting the Reef Diver, and so maybe it's a good idea to. What does that mean if it's a star? Place 1 marker on the impact. Oh, if we recruited a pilot, we would have gotten an impact. An impact marker too that we can use on the impact board. So, but yeah, I mean, this is my first time playing, really properly playing the game. So there are options, different interesting options that you can take at the beginning of the round, and how you want to start this game. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my diver. Oh, and I get 1. What is that called? Advance my reputation track there. So now that I advanced this, I can recruit level 2 specialist now. So which is level 2. Let me just show you. So there are 5 levels of specialists. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So, and they can do more, of course. The higher the level of specialist, they can do more for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive so I can get this. Oh, this. And I got 3 research, or I can get 1 disc. Because we have this scholarly bonus goal, I think I'm gonna just get the disc. I mean the research points. So 1, 2, 3. So now I have 6 research points. Okay. And I need to have 6 plus left over to win that one, to win that goal at the end of the game. All right. We have 2 more here, so I can go ahead and let's open up the map, because we need to remember we need to whore around the ocean here to get the 11. We have to drop our poop in. I shouldn't be saying that, because this is supposed to be like a really what you call it, a wholesome board game where it's all about protecting the environment, doing research, and protecting the ocean. But it's just kind of funny, that goal, you know, where synergistic, but it's about making sure that you leave your activation disk everywhere on 11 different maps, and or at least 8 different maps, and then you have the 3 submarines and three other ones that don't have the activation disk. It's just kind of funny to me, but okay. Okay, now it's the sonar operator. Should we? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the sonar operator too. But if I do the sonar operator, that means that I can't move to. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay, because because of this though, we need to hold around. Maybe we should move. Since this is you only get that if you discover the panel, right? The discovery you don't do that for moving to that space. Only when you discover the panel. Sonar, okay. Discovery bonus. So only if you discover the new zone. So if the zone is already placed there, you don't get anything. So moving there, you won't get the bonus. But I think we should move first. And can you activate the specialist more than once by putting more on top? I think you can only activate them once. Yeah, because it didn't say anything about stacking activation. So since there's no mention of it, I'm not going to double stack activation. Because I know there's the only a place where you can do multiple stacking is right here. The infinity symbol. Okay. Because I want to see if I can get synergistic. So I think we should move then. There's plenty of stuff to discover down here. And then what's the, I think that's just the starting bonus, right? Let me see here. Discovery bonus. Discovery bonus. Starting bonus. Arrival bonus, it says. Does the arrival bonus happen every time you arrive? I don't think so, because then they all have arrival bonus. Yeah, see, I mean, there's still death. Oh, that's the depth of the, okay. Arrival bonus. Let's see, maybe it's covered on the move. Oh, yeah. After moving a vessel to a zone, immediately gain the arrival bonus for that zone. The arrival bonus is displayed on travel. Okay. You do get the arrival bonus when you place a newly gained vessel in its launch zone, including, okay. Including your starting vessel, okay. So every time it lands somewhere, you gain the bonus. Only the final destination, not the zones passing through. Okay, so when you move, you get something anyway. So I think we should move before we do a sonar, even though we don't have enough. So maybe we should move to, and I can only move one space because our research is here. I mean, not research, ingenuity. So we can only move one space. If I move to the calm seas, I get, looks like I get research. If I move, okay, so I need to move to the volcanic island. That way I get ingenuity and I get an additional submarine. So I think I should do that. When you get an additional submarine, where does it go? I guess the starting area, right? Let me see here. The first time your marker reaches each of the two spots icon, place the new vessel at the launch mission and gain its arrival bonus. Okay, that's cool. So now we get actually more actions too. So that's cool. So I think I'm going to move over to the volcanic island. So I need to activate my team leader here to move the, and I'm going to choose move or travel. So I'm going to travel one spot to the left. And I'm going to get the ingenuity by 1. That means that now I get an additional submarine or vehicle. So now I have 2, and then it arrives here. Now I get an activation arrival bonus of 1 activation disk. So now I have 2 activation disks here. This is cool. Okay, so now I can do a sonar over there. I can, yeah, because I can't, I just use the team leader to move. because a team leader, you can do either or all these actions down here because you have the slashes between the actions. If you don't have the slashes between the actions, you can take all of the actions by activating that specialist or your leader. So in this case, I'm going to activate the sonar operator next, and then I'm going to spend an activation to scan. So now I do the same thing because it says def 1 to def 2. So I'm going to grab one tile per def and see what we got, and then we can choose which ones we want to activate. And we can still choose def 2 because there's one more space here for def 2. After we reveal this one, if it says that def 1, def 2, we have to take two def 1 because the bottom reveal can only happen if the top section is revealed already. So for the epipelagic zone, I got a bunch of dolphins here. Dolphin pods. This is cute. See, look at these panels. They're so beautiful. I mean, that's what convinced me to invest or picked up this game because I was like, look at the different graphics. They look really nice. Like they put a lot of efforts into the visual presentation of the game. And I didn't know that the manual was badly written. Okay, the other one is a kelp forest. This one's pretty cool too. And the kelp forest has research. Oh, and the dolphin one has research too. I think we're going to pick the dolphin because the next time we reveal with the sonar, then we know that it's going to be those two areas. I think we're going to pick the dolphin pods. So this goes back to the bottom of the pile, the stack. And we're going to place the dolphin pods right here, and we gain the discovery bonus, and in this case you gain one top left here, you gain one what is that icon? Inspiration, one inspiration and one ingenuity. And then we needed 3 diving whatever it's called, diving disc. What they call? Dive tokens. Okay, so one. I have to remember these names. One inspiration. Yeah, inspiration needs to move up because so that we can get more activation disc, and then one ingenuity. So now we're down to, you know what? And I think I played it wrong already, because the number of activation discs that you can get back is actually depending on where you're at here. So I did that wrong. So we're gonna keep going because, I totally forgot about that. In this case, so we need to make sure that, what is that? That's discovery. So you don't get all of them back. You can only get back a maximum number. So you need to really level up coordination. It makes sense. I like that. It makes sense. So you can only get one back right now. So I need to level up my coordination. I mean, it seems like we're just moving around and, but we're just gonna keep going. All right, we're just gonna keep going. So I think what really messed me up there was the whole thing about, and it just made me just, the whole reassignment thing, and how they messed up the first round reassignment, and that really messed me up. When I should be also looking at the reassignment level. That is the important part. I think that what they need to put here is like, well, there's also the guide here. We also need to look at the guide here also. Reassignment, and then what is the third one there? Reclaim disk. Gain, recruit, gain, reclaim, and then activate. So it's all here. So, but like I said, we're gonna keep going. I'm probably not gonna win anyway. But even with the extra, what was it? Extra 2 discs that we shouldn't have had to begin with. But we're gonna keep going. All right, so that's all done, right? So now everything's done. Now we go back to the preparation phase. So we're gonna use this here. So it says recruit 1. I think and we can recruit level 2 now, but probably undeservingly so because of our mistake. But we're gonna keep going. I'm going to recruit somebody who can. If you recruit this. If you recruit a marine engineer, you can't activate her, but you get you get 2 ingenuity. You can activate her only when you turn her into her senior experience form or whatever. We can also get a pilot, and then we can get something here, and we still need to. Let's just recruit a pilot. I'm gonna recruit a pilot, so I get an impact, and then I can choose getting, and this is what we need to level up. We need to level up coordination. So you can start in these 4 boxes here. You can level up your reputation. Inspiration, coordination, or ingenuity. So we know we need to level up coordination so that we can get more back every round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then my coordination go up. Now I can get 2 back. So maybe there's also strategy in not activating too many things, making sure that you have enough, but no, I think you want to activate as many as possible, But seemingly this is the most important track because it's all about regaining that. Oh, even this is good actually. Inspiration is good too because then you get more. All right. I forgot to reveal the finals bonus goal, but we're gonna go ahead and do that, and it is junior specialist. So you need to, it says dedicated is the name of the goal. You need to have 5+ junior specialists. So you can't even level them up. They have to remain junior specialists, and you need to have 5 of them for you to win this bonus goal. Okay. That's just crazy. All right. Okay, so we recruited the pilot. We gain 1 because our inspiration is stuck at level 1 here. Level 2, but we're with 1 additional 1 per round. So, and we're in round 3, so we're almost halfway into this game, and we barely have done anything. Okay. Am I playing this right? Okay, so now I get 2 back. So I'm gonna grab this sonar operator and the diver because we can still dive, and we have a pilot now, so he can move us around if we need to. Okay, so we get 3 back here, and like I said, I probably don't deserve 1 or 2 of these, but what can we do right now? I'm just gonna keep going and try and see, just trying to finish this game, knowing that this is at the end of this game, win or lose, it's not the perfect attempt to play this game because we made that mistake, that one big mistake. I think I grabbed 2 additional ones back into my bank here when I shouldn't have them. Coordination. What was this? Staging area. The staging area. Okay. So that's done. Now we need to, now the activation phase. I am going to, we should move, and then, because remember, we're trying to spread our seed so that we can win the the synergistic. Thankfully, you don't have to assign these people to specific vessel. That would have been crazy. But I think it wouldn't have worked out because this is like a 7-round game. It's fast. It's pretty fast. I should move this one over here. Or should move this one down here. Let's do that. I'm going to use the pilot. And he's going to move this vessel down here. And now I get, and I can move actually 2 devs. I can move 2 devs now. And that's what it means, right? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, no, I can move to def 2 now. So this is def 1, def 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So which is proper because I didn't go to any of these defs because that would have been a second mistake. But now I can move to def 2 and I can move 2 tiles. So 1 tile at a time. But the maximum def is 2. So I'm going to go down here and I get 1 inspiration, which is great. Now I can get 2 activation disc per round. And we still have 4 more rounds to go, which is great. But it seems like this is the most important. And this too. Getting it back is also important. There's a lot that you need to manage, and then it's like a short amount of time to play the game. Now that we're here, or did I place the proper? Yeah, I did. Okay. Now that we're down here, we should activate the sonar. It says 1, 2, 3, but the problem with that, oh no, I can get, I can't travel down here yet, but I can reveal it. So I think I'm gonna grab 2 from the top. Oh, god damn. Okay. I'm gonna grab 1 from the top. You can't reveal anything here, so then I'm gonna grab, because it says up to level 3, so 1 from the surface and 1 from the lower level, because we can always build downwards this way if we have the top of the column already revealed. So for the surface zone, I got Dying Reef. It's pretty cool here. A lot of research to be done here. And then the mesopelagic zone, I got Cold Water Reef. And there's research here too. But remember, we can't travel here yet. But by selecting this, by discovering this, I can get... now, can you... Yeah, you can. Because revealing is different than actually traveling there. So let me just make sure. You can always reveal it, but you can't travel there yet if you don't have the thing. As long as you can place them. As long as you can place them, you can reveal them. Yeah. It's all about the placement when you do a reveal for the map. Okay, if I do that, then I get... This is actually good, because then I can get 3 activation discs to start the next round. If I do the Dying Reef, I'm just moving up my reputation, and it's still at 2, level 2 of the specialist. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and reveal the Cold Water Reef. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're pretty close to be able to go down there anyway. So, and I'm gonna place it like right here. And by placing, by discovering that, I get to move this like 2 spots, and that's the inspiration. So now I can get 3 activation discs per round for the next 4 rounds. And that's it. And then by doing that also, I'm also leaving my trail. I'm trying to get that one activation disk per map, you know. Okay, so that's all done. So now we go to round 4. See, we're almost done with the game. We're halfway. And it says all players move all of their submarines 2 zones to the left as far as they can go. Players do not get the arrival bonus for moving. There's a tsunami. Apparently there's a tsunami. That's pretty cool. So we're already at the leftmost revealed area there. So nothing's going to happen to that sub. But this sub gets moved all the way to the dolphin pods. And you don't get the bonus. And this actually works in our favor because now we can leave our little activation disk here and then we can move. You know, we can move 2 spots. So we can actually move that here and then we can move this guy this way. So yeah, I think that actually helped than it hindered. So okay, we're all done. So now we're gonna we're back to the recruitment phase, preparation phase. So we start by recruiting. I think we need to keep moving this. I want to recruit more. Not sure. Pilot. Who has coordination? And we can recruit up to level 2. Nobody. Oh, the sonar operator, I guess, but we already have one. We don't have a lot of activations. We get 3. Oh, and then we get 1. We get 3 more, just great. So maybe we need a sonar operator. We can. Is there? No, there's research here. There's no sonar. So we need somebody who can research. So I'm going to go ahead and get an ecologist. Ecologist looks like can pilot and can also can do research. So we're gonna go ahead and get her. She doesn't have any. Looks like as a junior, she doesn't have any boost to our tablet, yeah, whatever you want to call this thing, our progression board. What is it called? Play a mat. Okay. Okay, so we recruited her. And then we get 3 activation discs. And then now we get to reclaim 2 back. So I'm going to reclaim the one from the pilot and the one from the sonar operator. So we have 5 now to play with. And let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to use the ecologist, I think, definitely, so we can research. It has to start somewhere, right? We can't just... Can we just drop... I think you can drop anywhere. Except for the middle one. Research. Conserve, not research. Spend research and place a disk in a conservation site to gain rewards, often impact. Choose an available conservation site in a zone where you have a vessel. Play the displayed research cost of the site and gain any indicated rewards. Place a disk from your staging area in the site. This may complete a link. Actions with research costs show the symbol with a number indicating the cost. Spend that amount of research from the research tracker on your player mat. Remember that you may also spend dive tokens for the displayed research value at any time. Okay, so you can choose any. We have 6 research points. But what do we want? Do we want an impact and a so we got options. We can activate any one of those. Impact inspiration, or do we want, I think I want the first one there because it has coordination and impact, which is this one. So I need to spend 4 research points, and then I get a coordination upgrade and an impact token. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I only have 2 research points. I know there's that goal, but we gotta progress our player mat here. And then we place and then we play the ecologist, and then place 1 there. I get 1 and 1. Now we can choose. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one over here, because now I get to move another one up to coordination. Now I get 3 back at the end of the end of the first phase. Okay, I still have 3 more activation discs to use. So now we strategize. I can dive here also, or I can move over here first. Or I can move over here and then do a sonar. I think and I get an activation disk if I travel here too. So I think what I should do is definitely move over there. So I'm gonna use the pilot, and I can move 2 spots and go down to depth 2. I can't go to the cold water reef yet, so I'm gonna move 1, 2, get the activation disk, and then here I'm going to go ahead and do a son. Oh no, the problem with, oh yeah, I can, because it says 2 and 3. I just can't reveal anything here for depth 2 because the top layer is not available. But I can choose 2 to be revealed down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna is that the best thing to do though? Maybe not. Oh yeah, because we want to have an activation token, remember, because we're trying to whore around the map. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So sonar operator, and I'm gonna do the sonar reading, and we're gonna grab 2 from the epipelagic zone, and we're gonna pick 1. So we reveal the shipwreck with the sharks. Look at this sharks. There's an interesting icon with this one. It says 8, but then I don't know what that means with the X. What does this mean? Let me see if. Oh, I think that's the additional. It's like you lost 1 die because of the shark. I think there's an extra manual, extra page for special rules. So let me just check to see if it's here. Shipwreck. When you dive at this site, draw 2 tokens. Choose 1 to keep and discard the other. Okay. Even though it has 8, you actually draw 2 when you do a dive. Okay. Yeah, this game doesn't have like danger of death by shark, even though there's you can see the 2 sharks here, because I think the whole point of this game is eco-friendly, you know, so even though you have sharks, so they're not gonna kill you. And then the other one is ledge elevator. Oh, that's pretty fancy. I think I like this one. But the other one will give me This one will give me track and reputation. I think I like shipwreck better, but here's the ledge elevator. So I think I'm gonna choose a shipwreck. So now we'll place it. Why don't we place it here? Oh no, this is level. Oh, did I make a mistake? This is level 2. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm supposed to be researching level 3. I'm sorry. Sorry. So these two are still gonna be like right here. Okay. I was supposed to get level 3. Okay. Because I can't reveal any more level 2, remember. I need to reveal level 3. So, oh, look at this. This is some cool stuff. Carbonate spires. And I will get 2 coordination, which is really good. And then, oh no, 2 reputation. Oh, this is the best option, I think. Jellyfish bloom, and I get 2 coordination. I think I'm going to select a jellyfish bloom. So this goes to the bottom. We can't travel to these places yet, but we can reveal them. So I'll place that one here. Okay. And I get 2 coordination. 1, 2. I still have 1. I can dive here. So let me go ahead and I can either dive here or dive here. There's a special rule for diving here, it looks like. Sunken ruins. Let's see. Sunken ruins. Okay. When the dive site in this zone is empty, every player with at least 1 vessel in this zone, starting with the active player and going clockwise, may take 1 travel action away from this zone. Okay. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and dive here then. So I'm going to use the reef diver to dive here, and then I can get 3 research or 1 activation. Icon. If we do an activation, oh no, it's 2 and 3. You know what? We'll take the research. 3 research. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's all done. That's all that I can do. Now we go into round 5. The next setback is government intervention. All players return 1 from Def 1 and Def 2 zone up their choice to supply. Oh, that's bad. But since we return this, that means that those things can be reactivated, apparently. But the problem with this is... the problem with this... I'll grab this one. Because we have the submarine there, we can reactivate it. The problem with this is it's taking away points from synergistic. But the good thing here is you get a additional resource to play this round. Okay. Alright, so even the setbacks are like not that aggressively catastrophic, it seems like. Like there's always like a silver lining. Like earlier with the tsunami, it moved you, but then if it moved you to a location that you can do stuff at, then like there's always a silver lining. Okay, so now I get to recruit, and I'm still stuck at level 2, so let me see. So we can get more back next turn. I think I'm going to recruit a... I'm going to recruit... the pilot, all it does is just move you around. I need... Shit. I guess let's recruit the navigator, because navigator can pilot and do a sonar. No, we need more researcher, because she can only do one research. I think since and then we move after we yeah, that's right. We need to get back over there. It was a mistake to move this way. Oh no, because I was trying to spread the seed. That's right. Shit. I think we are going to get another sonar operator, because this area looks like it has multiple. I don't know. Or just get a marine engineer, and then we can move our ingenuity up. Maybe that's a good move. And then what happens to when you upgrade a pilot? Skipper. All it does is just move the ship around. Maybe we need another ship. We have 2 more rounds. Can we get another ship maybe at the end? Let's ingenuity. Okay, I'll grab a marine engineer. Let's just do that. I'll grab a marine engineer, and then we'll move 2 ingenuity here. Okay. I'm not sure. That was probably a bad move, but let's just keep going. And then I accumulate 3 more. Activation disk. I can reclaim 3. You know what? I'll reclaim the leader because he can do more. And then ecologist. The reef diver. And the sonar operator. Okay. Alright. Make sure we're not skipping steps. Oh, and then reassignments. Yeah, we already did that. And then activation. It's like they want 6+ conservation. How is that possible? They want you to do 6 conservation? How is that possible for 1 player? It's and then 5+ journal. I mean, how is that possible? Maybe is this real? I mean, how would you be able to do that plus everything else? Is what I'm... The junior specialist we're going to be able to do, for sure. That's in the bag because we have 2 more rounds and we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then 2 more rounds. We have the 5 junior specialists. We already have the 5 junior specialists. As long as they don't level up, that's in the bag. But 2 more, I don't know. I mean, the part that I don't get is maybe the sonar, but I only have 1, 2, and then what got returned 3, and they want 6 sonar. I just don't understand how you would be able to do that many. That's why, like, as long as you have a sonar operator, you can keep. Can you keep? See, this is, they don't address this. Can you keep playing? Can you keep, as long as you have the activation? Can you keep playing your resource, or can the sonar operator only do 1? You see, I mean, it's not clear. Then you may perform the specialist action. The disc you place on special simply permits you to take its actions. Some action types will require you to use additional. Performing multiple actions from one specialist still counts as 1 turn. The action may be performed in different zones. Resolve each action before beginning the next. So you can have 1 specialist and then just do multiple actions, but you just have to choose, like, the either or. You choose 1, and then you, as long as you have the tokens, activation tokens, you can do those actions. I think I understand now. And I mean, that's the only way you can achieve some of these goals, because if they only can take 1 action, there's no way you can achieve the goals with the limited turns that you have. Okay. So then what we need to do so that's where the pilot part, I mean, it's like piloting travel. See, because when you travel, you can only travel once, right? I mean, you activate the pilot and you can travel once. So if you activate that pilot, you can just go anywhere? That doesn't make any sense. And why have the limitation of how many panels you can move to? Technology is 0%. That means that your vessel could go as MD3, and it can move up to 3 zones away from its current location. Yeah, they really desperately need to explain more of this. I mean, I understand using, like, when you want to do the sonar action, you actually use this to activate, but that confuses me. It's like when you travel, if they can just keep continuing to do the actions, it doesn't make any sense. Like when you dive, you can only dive once, right? You activate the diver and you dive once. So when you activate the sonar operator, wouldn't that be the same thing? Or the sonar operator, so maybe actions that require additional disk can be reactivated, but actions that only require you to activate the person only activates that person once. I'll just think of it that way. Okay. This game is rough. Okay. So let's do a sonar action for Volcanic Island. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my sonar operator, and then let's activate that. And we can only 1 or 2, so we can actually, yeah, we can. No, since we can't place down a level 2 there, we will grab 2 from the top layer. A decommissioned oil rig. Or at this point, I don't think we're going to win anything, and since there's still a lot of confusion, we'll just try and finish the game. Or the atoll. I think I like the decommissioned oil rig because it seems like there's a lot more going on. So I'm going to pick this one. I'll place it here. Now, and this goes to the bottom. And now I can, let's say I want to activate it again, even though I shouldn't. Oh, it says per disc in the ocean. Okay, yeah, per sonar. Let's do that. And I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to grab this one and a second layer here. Because now we have the ability to place the second layer. Okay. So for the surface zone, we got remote anchorage. I think this is what we got earlier, right? We're back to that. And then, oh, the ledge elevator, because we drew this by mistake earlier. I think I'm gonna go with the ledge elevator. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, at this point, I don't think it matters because I don't think I'm gonna win, even though with the mistake earlier. And we get 1 on influence, 1 on coordination. Oh, nice! Now we get 4 back at the end of the turn, and we have 2 more rounds too. Did I forget to No, I have 2 more rounds, right? Yeah. I think I do. Here's the deal sometimes when this is why, in case, well, in the morning whenever I do a session like this, I actually am also managing dialysis treatment downstairs. It's hard sometimes to keep. That's why gaming, like doing video games, I try to do board games during this time, because it is a little bit easier to get back into. But sometimes when you have to stop, and then get back to stuff, it's it's hard. It's hard because I don't remember something. Because sometimes I have to go manage that. Every half hour I pretty much have to manage something. Have to get data and stuff. So sometimes it takes longer than normal to do that, and whenever that happens and I get back here, I'm like kind of lost. So, but anyway, I'm gonna do my best. I think we already did that, right? I mean, I think we're on. I have to look. I have to look. I think I forgot. I think we're actually here. I think we're turn 6. Because this was a while back, and then I did that because of this. So this is a while back. No, because I'm doing this now. Right? Yeah, I'm doing this now. Okay, no. I think we're good. Okay, and that's why I'm doing 2 actions because 1 got taken away. I think we're okay. All right, so I'm gonna put and then 1 coordination. I did that 1. Okay, and then yeah, and then this goes here. Okay. All right. Now, I still have a bunch to do here that I can do. We can dive. Let's go ahead and dive while we're there. Or should we move? I think we should move and get some more. I think we should move, and then we have 5 research, so we can get 2 of these done. So let's move down this way. So activate the pilot, which is, we can either activate the team leader or we can activate the ecologist. It doesn't matter. I'm going to activate the team leader to move the ship down. So we're going to go here, and then we get, every time you arrive at a new location, you get the +1 here for, looks like, what is the green thing? Inspiration. And then we're going to activate the ecologist. And since we have 3 more activation tokens here, we can do 3. I think that's how it works. Like where you can pay additional, and then it also says you can do it on multiple locations. So like during the turn, if you activate the ecologist can do, and if you choose for the ecologist can pilot, or it can do she can do research, or he, or whatever. Once you activate the specialist, you can use that specialist ability no matter which part of the map, as long as you can get to them, as long as you pay the cost. I think that's how it works. It's just not explained right in this manual. So, because judging from some of these goals, there's no way, if they can only take 1 action and then use 1 resource to just do it once, there's no way you can ever hit it. So, and then looking at how vast the map is, I think the only time when there's a limit to that specialist's ability is if you only activate the specialist and there's no additional activation fee. For example, piloting. So just because you activate the pilot doesn't mean the pilot can go wherever the pilot wants, because there is a movement limit. So because of that, I think once you activate the pilot, they can only move 1 time using the movement limit. Dive also doesn't require additional activation tokens. So once you activate dive, you can dive once, and then that's it, unless you have multiple divers. Okay, so I think the strategy is just make sure you have 1 of the specialists that can do the multiple actions, and then multiple specialists that can only do the action once, like the divers. So you need to have multiple divers. Okay. So now that we're down here, I'm going to spend research. We can do 3, 2, 5. Okay, we only have 5 research, so we can actually, let's do this one, because when you do linking, like Nights into Dreams, you get the link bonus, whatever that shows in the middle. So we have the ecologist activated. So we're going to go ahead and get this one first, and we get 1 inspiration. Use 2 research, 1, 2. And then we also get the linking bonus, which is 1 impact token. So I'm gonna use that. I'll put this here so I know that that's what I'm gonna do next. You know what? Change of plan. So this is what I'm gonna do next. We're still in the play of activation phase. I'm gonna finish the game on the next session and then probably play a new session then too. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Interesting game, just bad manual.